Greetings, welcome to my drawing board on a Saturday. Today I'm going to do a little exercise. Again, I haven't been doing many caricatures, so I thought I'd kind of keep myself in the caricature mode and do another one. Last week I didn't do this one live, but I did one of Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers, which is kind of funny because look at the hat I'm wearing. That's the team I like. Anyway, today, I'm going to draw a famous star from the past. And so there he is. And some of you might recognize who this person is. He was very famous for not only his acting and his singing voice and comedian roles, comic roles type of thing. But he was also very, very famous for his huge schnoz. This star had he had a whopper, and so that's what I'm drawing. So any of you that have a hint about who this person is, please weigh in and see if you can tell me who this star from the past is. Now, I'm going to try to get fairly crazy or fairly wacky with this caricature, and at the end, I'm going to have a point as to why I'm drawing this particular guy. And caricatures are fun. Let's see, his face. Now, here's the tricky part. He definitely has a general head shape. But the fact that I'm going to take his nose, which is quite large. Actually, he's got kind of big ears too. Here's a fact. Did you know that during your whole lifetime, your nose and your ears continue to grow? Which is why, if you think about it, older people have larger noses and ears. It's because they keep growing. All right, now let's see. The home for this nose is going to be right here. And it has a particular shape. Big schnozola. If I asked you to define a caricature, what would you say? In fact, if there's anybody watching, which there's not, but if you guys come in later or even after this is done being live, if I asked you to define a caricature, what would you say a caricature is? That's the question of the day. What is a caricature? I hear lots of people define caricatures in particular ways. But what is the actual definition? What is the truer meaning, an accurate definition of caricature? Now, the guy that I'm drawing, which I have not named yet, was the voice in a cartoon that came out the year that I was born. And it's kind of a sentimental favorite of mine. There's lots to chew on there. It's got this little, what's the deal with my pen here. That panel keeps popping out, and well, you're probably not even seeing it because of the way I have StreamYard set up here. I think you're just seeing the white board and what I'm drawing, but I've got Photoshop open, and there's a bunch of panels that I have on the screen too. And for some reason, my pen keeps causing one of the panels to keep popping up. So there he is. He had a couple famous lines too that he would always say. Everybody wants to get into the act was one of his famous lines. Now, let's see if I'm happy with that. One of the things about caricature is that you have to draw the features, and for caricature artists, of course, you're trying to exaggerate a bit and emphasize different parts. And you want to capture the look of the person so that there's more than just, oh, that guy's got a big nose, that must be so and so. It's got to actually capture the kind of the feel of the face, like it's actually recognizable, not just because of certain features, but there's that look of who you are type of thing in the caricature. Sometimes caricatures are very general in nature, and like when I was in high school, I had a math teacher who had a particular nose and glasses and eyebrows, and so I drew a picture of just his eyebrows and glasses and mustache, and it looked just like him. But that was just because of those very distinct items in combination with each other. The drawing actually didn't look a lot like him. It was just very simple, a simple generalization. And other caricatures, actually, these ones kind of drive me a bit crazy. I've seen caricature artists with setups like this, and I don't know, I'm pretty picky with caricatures, so. But I'm shocked that people actually have people like this draw them. And again, this is just me, so this is personal opinion. Lots of people seem to be satisfied with this sort of thing, but people that have like cookie cutter faces, they draw the same face all the time, and they just change little items on the face to make it you. It really doesn't look like you, but yeah, those really, I just don't care for them. And there's other artists that have a knack for really capturing who that person is, and yet the drawing is very different from their actual face. Let's see. He's got more of a little curve right there on his nose. So trying to capture the general shape of that nose. It curves up a little bit like that. And then some noses, they have this thing like that. I don't think that he does. Well, he kind of does a little bit. You can see some. We'll put something like that. A little more detail on the nose. On the nose. So if this caricature ends up being accurate and looking like him, would you say that I captured his look on the nose? Is something like that. All right. Anyway, I referred to the cartoon when I was a kid, and the cartoon is Frosty the Snowman. I believe that came out in 1964. So anybody that's watching this that wants to know who this guy is, could stop the video right now and go and look him up. And I haven't actually seen a lot of stuff that he's been in. He's been in lots of older movies, and just looking up photo reference for him, you can see him posing with all kinds of different movie stars and political figures and such. So he had, I guess, a pretty long career. But when he's posing for his publicity shots, it's really funny because they are making him show off that nose. He was famous for it, and he worked it. He didn't hide his nose, or he didn't, have plastic surgery to make his nose smaller. He that was his thing, and he got all he could out of his nose. Well, you know what I mean. Eyes are a particularly important part of the caricature. So if you get the eyes wrong, then it ain't gonna look like him. It ain't gonna look like him. Ha-cha-cha-cha. That was one of his things he was famous for too, is that ha-cha-cha-cha. I like that little mouth that's kind of peeking out from under that nose. That's not right. He's got I like the look of the teeth, how they kind of underneath. It's just the shape of that mouth. It's almost got a very cartoon quality. Like, I've seen people draw cartoons that have that kind of a look to it. Anybody on yet? Nobody on yet. Well, it's a Saturday. It's nice outside here, so there's probably lots of people out enjoying the nice weather. He's got that nice bottom lip. If you've been watching any of my other videos lately, you may have seen that I have a new video setup with a camera over my actual drawing board, and tried making a couple videos like that this past week, and I've got some figuring out to do because the lighting is not right, and it was either too dark in one video, which is frustrating, or I have an app that I use with my webcam that I use to make the videos, to shoot the video. And I adjusted the webcam so that it was brighter. I thought, well, that'll fix the problem. Well, it made it brighter, but it washed out the the sheet that I was drawing on became super light, and so then you couldn't see the pencil work that I was drawing. So I was actually gonna scribble a bit more on this one, but before I went live, I kind of had a little practice session. Just kind of generally blocked out the shape of his face. And that little bit of practice, I think, helped, because this sometimes when I draw a face like that Aaron Rodgers version, that if you check out that video, in the beginning of the video, I say that I hadn't done any caricatures for a while, which is true. And I thought, man, I gotta find a face, and I gotta draw one just to do it. And I didn't have anybody in mind. And so I found this photo. I don't know where it was in the search, why it came up, but there was Aaron Rodgers, and I thought the angle of the photo and his features and the expression and stuff, I thought there's a good photo to do some caricature work on. So I thought, I'm going to draw that one, regardless of team loyalty and all that. And I thought, well, I've got relatives that love him, and lots of friends and family and stuff. So I thought I'd give it a shot anyway. And so I started drawing it, and the first version of it I thought was good. It was fun in the making part, and then I stepped away from it a little bit, and I realized, oh, I don't actually like that version. It wasn't fun enough. It wasn't loose. It was kind of stiff still, and you can get like that if you haven't kind of been in the caricature mode for a while. And so I thought, all right, well, let's take a second shot at it. And so I did. And that one, I just started by scribbling a bit, just kind of loosening up. I didn't want to commit to any surefire lines and stuff. And that one, the scribble, the loose exercise of just scribbling, having some fun with it, really started things in a good direction. And so I went with that one, and it turned out really good. If I can say that, it was very satisfying for me. It was a lot of fun. And so so there we go. There's the inks. Turn it off, turn it on. You can see how that works. And I think we've got some time here, so I might as well just throw some color on I don't know how far we'll get. My wife's bringing some supper home, so I'm going to see if I could get this in before she arrives. Uh-oh. I hear the garage door. There goes my dog. Ready to greet my wife at the door when she comes. So we'll keep this color kind of simple. Just maybe throw some flat color on it and do some simple shadows. There we go. Now, this might seem kind of strange to you, but I like to I've selected a layer underneath the inks. So now I'm going to fill that layer in with a color. It doesn't matter which color it is, but it just helps me see where I need to touch it up a little bit. I've left that little spot there, and the rest of it looks pretty good. And now I'm going to lock that layer so that I can color on it. And since I'm going to be using mostly flesh color, I'll pick a flesh color. And I'm going to have to yell it to my wife, hey, I'm online, I'm live. So then she doesn't say something embarrassing. Not that she would, but you never know. So now you can see I'm coloring the layer. Hey, I'm live. Just doing a quick drawing for Saturday. Yeah, oh yeah, just carry on. So, and who knows, maybe I'll look at this drawing later and want to fix it. Just like that Aaron Rodgers one. I got so far on it, the first version I didn't care for after I had stepped away from it. So I came back and looked at it and thought, oh, I made a mistake on it. And so I just adjusted it a little bit. Then I came back to it and I realized that whole thing just wasn't, it was too tight. It was too uncomfortable. It wasn't fun enough. And so, like I said, I went back and did a second version, and just that scribbling exercise really, really helped how it started out. So there's a tip for young artists. Just develop some sort of warm-up exercise when you draw. I know a lot of people just generally think that artists, it just flows out of you. It's effortless and all of that. It's just this natural, it's so easy type of thing. Well, it depends on what's going on a given day and your state of mind and all those types of things that can interfere with your creativeness, your caricature artist's eye or whatever. If you're tired or if you're just getting going, it's kind of like exercise. I mean, it's important to stretch out and loosen up when you're going to do some physical activity or event. Get your body ready for that. Caricature, being creative is kind of the same. And one bit of advice that I give to people too is when you go to, say, an amusement park or something like that where there's caricature artists, never be the first one of the day, because that artist has not had a warm-up yet. Let him practice on some other people, and who knows, they probably turn out okay to the average person, but you'll get that artist's best artwork later on in the day. So let's see, I'll add some simple shading here. The light shadows are underneath the eyebrow there. And another fun exercise sometimes is drawing a face and then putting shadows on it from different, like change the light source angle. Draw the same face or make the same face and then shade it with different light sources. It's a good exercise to help understand the shapes of the face. And that's a little. See, I'm wanting to do other stuff. I'm trying to keep this simple, but there's a big nose there. I want to render that. Now that we're coming down towards the end of the caricature. And I've got one person watching. Hello, one person. Do you have any guesses as to who this is? Do you know who this famous, rather large-nosed individual is? Who I think he died in 1980? If I'm right about I saw a picture of his grave. He was born in the 1800s. Do you know who this person is? Been trying to draw people that people know who they are, because it's more fun when you actually recognize the person. But I don't know. Maybe I was being lazy and picked a person with a big nose. So the person that I'm drawing right now, his name is Jimmy Durante. And Jimmy Durante was, again, the first thing you thought of when you heard of Jimmy Durante was, oh, the guy with the big nose. And that's right. He's got a big, big nose. And actually, there's a reason why I drew Jimmy Durante today, and it wasn't because, I'm feeling lazy and just want to have a caricature that's easy to draw. Honestly, though, sometimes when I was drawing live caricatures, like at the Creation Museum or other places, a person like this would sit down and you'd go, "Thank you, Lord," because they've got some outstanding feature that you can use. Although I wasn't cruel. I didn't want to be mean about their a particular feature that might be uncomfortable. So I tried to be somewhat reserved in exaggeration, but still had some fun with it. Capturing the likeness was really my priority there. But a person with a large nose, or whatever the given feature of a person is, making features larger is not the accurate definition of a caricature, because a lot of people say, well, caricature, that's where you make people's noses big, right? And in a little bit here, I want to do a little exercise just to kind of have some fun with that idea. So caricatures are not where they make your nose big. Now, I've made this guy's nose big, right? But why did I do that? If caricatures are not where they make your nose big, why did I make his nose big in this caricature? All right, I think that's about all. Well, here, there's one more little thing I got to do. Okay, his tie, his shirt is actually white, so we'll just leave it like that. All right, so a caricature is a drawing of a person or whatever it is, where we try to capture the essence of you by minimizing or exaggerating, or combinations of all those things, features that would capture the generalization of your look. And so just by saying that's where they make your nose big, that and saying that's what all caricatures do is not accurate, because if you're a person with a small nose and I drew that everyone with a big nose, that wouldn't serve that person, because if you don't have a big nose and I gave you a big nose, then that's not trying to capture the look. I mean, you don't give people with small noses big noses just for the sake of big noses. If let's see, I'm trying to make a point here, have some fun, because I'm in Photoshop and I can do this stuff on other layers. So if I did this for Jimmy Durante, I just gave him a nose job. Let's fix that other part of the nose, the mouth there. This is where it helps having experience drawing people, because I don't have that other side of his face to look at, but I'm going to draw it anyway. So, all right, so let's, that's the ink layer. I'm going to put some color on that different part of the face that I just drew. Actually, what I should do instead is just take that shape. Where's the shape? There's the inks. Oh wait, did I draw a shape in there? Yeah, I did. Okay, there's the shape. All right, now take that shape and block it. And then I'll just color that in. Oh, I'm gonna have to trim it a little bit. All right, we'll trim that part off. Uh-oh. All right, well, we'll paint it white then. For those of you that have Photoshop or have ever worked in Photoshop, layers are your friend. They really, really are, but they can be a bit of a challenge to keep track of. So, okay, there we've drawn Jimmy Durante with a small nose. Does that look like Jimmy Durante? No, that's not his nose at all. So the same would be true with, a small nose person. I wouldn't give them a big nose. Jimmy Durante's caricature has a large nose because he has a large nose. So you make it larger. A small nose person, you can make their nose smaller, or whatever the feature is, wherever you want to make it bigger, smaller, nose, ears, all of that. You try to characterize the feature and then exaggerate it in that way to let's see, I'm kind of chicken to do this. I'm going to duplicate those layers, and then there we go. There. So, all right. So I took all those layers that I just made and I made them into one layer, so I can just click it off and on. So there's Jimmy Durante with a small nose. He had a plastic surgery, I guess. And there's Jimmy with his big nose, and it looks like him better with the big nose. So anyway, so that's the lesson. That's the purpose why I drew this caricature today, is because I wanted to kind of debunk that that false definition of a caricature is just someone with a big nose, where you make their nose big. That's not true at all. I gave Jimmy a big nose here because Jimmy has a big nose. So, oops, did it again. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed this caricature on this Saturday. Please join me for other caricatures and other art instruction that I have during the week sometimes, or just I'll pop on at any given time and feel like I want to do a drawing for my audience. So please subscribe. Please share my videos to other people that might like them, and your help in growing my channel is much appreciated. So thanks very much. See ya.